Right, it's 10 o'clock. So I think we might just give it maybe another minute or so, and just to ensure that everybody who wants to jump onto this webinar is with us. So let's just give it another minute or two, and you can look at our pretty faces on the other side of the screen as you wait. So just be patient with us for 2 minutes, and then we'll get going. Right, so I figured I'd just jump in and we'd get going. I see the time's already like 2 minutes past 10, so let's not delay too much. If you've joined us this morning, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. If you're in Johannesburg, it's nice and cold this side of the world. Must say I am enjoying the weather. To start with the introduction, this is me. I'm Nolene Foster, and I head up the sales and scanning division for Modena. And next up is Peter Botha, and he's our resident applications engineer, and he's got a wealth of knowledge with scanning in multiple different industries and different projects. And then we have our very own engineer, Mr. Floyd Mabena. And yeah, he can certainly model up complex piping in lightning speed. So he's got great talent. Just some quick housekeeping. If you've got any questions during the webinar, please do put them in the chat box and we'll try and answer them as quickly as we can. And then we have got some time set aside afterwards to really deep dive your questions and answers a little bit further. Okay, thank you so much. I'm just going to go straight in and let's just go to our agenda. Right, so what are the advantages of laser scanning? We're going to look at defining BIM, Scan-to-BIM, a match made in heaven. Let me just stick off my camera so you don't have to look at my face. The advantages of Scan-to-BIM, and of course our 5 top challenges in the process. So definitely scoping, access to site or particular areas, dealing with large data. The 3 C's, I call them communication, collaboration, and coordination. And then, of course, client engagement. And then we're going to wrap it up with some education, the final frontier.
All right, morning, everyone. Thank you, Nolene, for the introductions. I'm going to take you through the advantages of scanning from Scan-to-BIM. So firstly, the 3D scanning technology will definitely decrease your field time, which is very crucial these days. And the days of taking a tape measure to a site and struggling to measure an area or not being able to reach certain areas are definitely over. For the past decade, companies like Faro has been creating cutting-edge technology that does allow any user to capture reality quickly and accurately. This reality capture data from these tools is converted into high-precision data, also known as point clouds, which gives you the XYZ of the terrestrial fields. One of the biggest advantages of capturing point cloud is that it allows you to store this information and reanalyze it anytime. This reduces the need to revisit physical job sites and lowers the probability of rework during operations. For 3D laser scanning works by shooting millions of laser points per second to capture the full internal and external detail of any building, environment, or the structures. This means that whatever we are capturing, the data is going to be extremely accurate. By registering the data from the scans, a 3D point cloud model of the scan site or object can be created with an accuracy of plus minus 1 millimeter. We can then pull measurements from this data from the comfort of your own home. There is no need to revisit paperwork, decipher messy notes, or go back to the site for missed measurements, so human error is eliminated. In this video, we can see the point cloud data that was used for measurements at the highest ends of the building. The aim was to capture the height and connection points of the banners and crucial connection points for the new interior design, without the need to erect scaffolding to do the measurements at the highest points. A great advantage is being able to remote survey where direct access is not possible. So surveying areas, especially at the very top of the roof, inside of, sorry, just someone is not muted. Okay, apologies for that. So surveying the areas, especially at the very top of the roof inside a building, are not always safe or immediately possible. So there may be instances where access to site is restricted. 3D laser scanning allows for remote surveying when an individual does not need to directly access or work over the site. This significantly reduces the safety risk and time spent waiting around. For example, in this picture, you can see this enables us to measure the truss or the fire equipment, the fire sprinklers at the very end of the building at the top. Using our 3D modeling software, we are able to overlay a design model onto the 3D laser scan. This ensures fit and highlights any clashes that may be in the environment. By finding this out before construction starts, you will save a lot of time and money on rework.
So now that we understand a little more about laser scanning, let's jump straight in. I'm going to take you through that ever flexible buzzword called BIM. So please do forgive us if you've heard this all before, but for our newcomers, we're going to take a few steps back and explain a little and give some insight into building information modeling. So building information modeling really is a collaborative process which allows multiple contractors to work together on the planning, design, and construction of a building by using one central 3D model. You're able to create intelligent 3D models where all the design elements become clearly defined, including how they behave and how they relate to each other, all the physical and functional characteristics. The power of BIM is how it allows all the stakeholders, we're talking about your architects, your engineers, your designers, and your contractors, all to collaborate on one central model, really ensuring that all involved will work together more efficiently. So the data in the model establishes its relationship to other elements and model components. So when one single element in your model is changed, let's say like a supporting pillar or a doorway or a window, every view is then updated with these new changes appearing in section, elevation, and sheet views. The information in the model can be used to improve designs before building takes place. Generate realistic visualizations, you're able to convey design intent to the field, but most importantly, your model is always going to retain its intelligence right from the beginning. So building owners can really use BIM for predictive maintenance, asset tracking, facilities management, future renovations or refurbishments. What does it mean in the bigger picture if you've got BIM? You're able to reduce your project risk, improve project timelines and cost savings, and ultimately this results in better project outcomes. The power of BIM is really expanding and allowing cloud-connected teams to work together in new and fascinating ways. We are really in a time of transformation. Companies are working smarter, and the demand for BIM becoming evident with almost every job that is on our doorstep. And of course, laser scanning and BIM have such a symbiotic relationship that we truly believe that in today's day and age, that the one is definitely not possible without the other. The drive and the push towards accurate data and information has now become a prerequisite for every project that we're facing. No matter where you are in this cycle, all the way from design to build or a building's operational needs, laser scanning is going to remain an ever-present functional need. And of course, as demand in our industry grows for the implementation of BIM, so is the demand for laser scanning, especially in projects that we have pre-existing structures, as we do actually in most cases. So reality capture of as-built conditions can provide the most critical information, really even before design work gets going. And in order to ensure that your model is as accurate as possible, we need to ensure that the measurements involved are also as accurate as possible. And of course, employing the use of 3D laser scans means that the 3D model content and associated measurements are therefore super precise. And what does that mean? It's enabling a data-rich and connected workflow. So we're able to quickly take point clouds that have a wealth of information, and we're able to convert them into usable as-built models. Or you're able to show design intent. I think this is going a little bit, there we go. Or we're able to show design intent within 3D models, or as we have here within the photo view of the scan data. The flexibility with the way we're able to work today and how we're able to use the data is forever just improving. You can automatically create as-built Revit family objects for pipes, valves, flanges, walls, surfaces, concrete, and the list goes on.
Well, Scan-to-BIM enables a data-rich, connected, and constructible workflow. It removes a large degree of human error from traditional as-built documentation processes. The data collected can be considerably collected at a shorter period. Information can be stored faster, and teams don't need to go to site back and forth. These are the advantages of Scan-to-BIM. Scan-to-BIM helps to achieve transparency, communication, and collaboration. The 3D models derived from this technique provides a greater performance, quality assurance, and reliability. This approach also helps in reducing the budget to a greater extent. No more traveling back and forth to sites, booking accommodation for a longer period of time, and rotating your drawing from one discipline to another, or perhaps flipping countless pages just to find hand-drawn sketches and measurements you obtained while on site. Any alterations can be made with ease, and it helps the decision makers take decisions quicker. You no longer have to look for old files in order to check for measurements. You just plug in your hard drive, open your recap, and confirm the measurements right on spot. It also allows for creating sustainable structures, and mistakes can be avoided at the earlier stages of the project lifecycle, which reduces cost of rework.
So if BIM is the answer, or Scan-to-BIM is the answer, then really what is the question? We are familiar with the problems that Scan-to-BIM is especially good at resolving, but for us at Modena, what are the issues that we are really, or the challenges that we are really typically facing? Scoping for sure, access to the site or areas that we need to get to, large data, our 3 Cs, communication, collaboration and coordination, and client engagement. So proper scoping is probably our most important element when it comes to each and every project that we do. So how do we get everyone on the same page? How do we deliver information for everyone's needs? The architect, the engineers, the fire guys, or HVAC. If parameters are clearly defined from early on, you can often find yourself running into trouble. Just give me 2 seconds. I think, Floyd, are you not on mute? So if we truly understand the client's deliverable, what they're going to use the data for, then you can start to deliver on their requirements. So you are familiar with the term LOD, or perhaps you are or not, but that is what level of information or what level of detail is required. And it becomes of paramount importance when we're speaking with our clients to really understand where it is that they want to take their drawings, or where it is that they want to take this information. And it becomes clear that what is possible physically within our workflow that we can do. So another issue that we have often is scope creep. And I think 1 minute we're scanning for architectural, and the next we've got building services or ceiling voids to capture. And we also find ourselves often in the situation where there's possibly a request for too much information. Clients are saying, can you deliver LOD 500? And if you properly scope that and you look into that, that's actually really unnecessary. or perhaps that there's not enough information, there's not enough BIM, that these details have not been specified early on, and that could be due to lack of understanding on the client's behalf, or perhaps some of the contractors not really specifying what they need or require us to do.
So one of our biggest challenges that we face on a site is access. For example, we can go scan an office building for BIM information, and that requires us to scan every single room in that building. So especially now during lockdown, people are working from home and have their own keys to the offices, so they lock it when they leave. And access to ceiling voids to capture the piping or ducts can also be a very big challenge. But believe it or not, the building security does not have a skeleton key. So arrangements need to be made with the managers of a department to ensure that all rooms are open when you go scanning. So with point clouds, there's also the issue of large data. So for us at Modena, we break it down into three categories for our scanning projects. So we have a small point cloud project, which will be below 50 gigabytes. Mid-range project will go between 50 to 100 gigabytes project. And the biggest project that we have worked on at Modena was about 700 gigabytes worth of over 2,000 scans. The point clouds itself can become massive and very fast. So how do we handle this data? Firstly, you will need to have the correct computer specifications to be able to even view these point clouds. So these on your screen are the recommended requirements according to Faro to handle many scans. It is highly recommended that you have a computer with these specifications, even if you are just modeling from the point cloud in software like Revit or AutoCAD. There's also online solutions like Faro WebShare Cloud, which is the perfect platform to share your scan data in 3D with the client or other contractors. This online 3D point cloud platform can be online 3D point cloud that is on the WebShare Cloud can be downloaded as an RCS file, which is the native file format for Autodesk. Within WebShare, you can view 2D top view of your project, which includes the scan locations and the 360 photo views. It is really easy to share this data from WebShare. You can simply share the link to the project itself. We will add the link to some examples on WebShare for you to browse through. You can also create annotations and do the measurements and view the photos on the web browser, all done in the cloud. So this works great for clients who does not have the necessary computer specifications required to handle the point clouds. There are many other online storage solutions available on the market, but we do recommend using the online storage solutions to archive your old scanning projects, as you cannot view or work on your projects on online storage sites as you can with WebShare. So working on active scanning projects requires a lot of hard drive space, which will also include the backups of your projects. Our solution at Modena is to have a NAS drive with multiple hard drives connected to your server. From here, you can easily access your data without having to upload or download from the cloud, which will save you time and costs. We definitely recommend using a NAS drive with sufficient space for your active projects. We also recommend to have the point cloud on the computer's local drive to eliminate the waiting period of uploading and downloading from your network drive.
And of course, you come to communication, collaboration, and coordination. And you know that this is an issue that we find not only within our team, ourselves, within our company, but also with on the external side. So we often find that if one of these is missing, our projects inevitably run into some kind of trouble. So projects in the market are always complex. Projects often have multiple stakeholders and service providers contributing to the project at different stages or phases. It becomes essential to share critical information and collaborate with them from multiple source points. There is a great challenge in design stages where the architectural, structural, and the MEP designs are separate. And it's not a huge surprise that there might be some design clashes, but through cloud functionality and integration of scope, and BIM really ensures accurate coordination and the collective collaboration.
Well, in most cases, the communication between you and the client is misinterpreted, especially when the client is super excited but doesn't really understand what the solution is or the solution has to offer. It is very critical to let your client know and fully understand the pros and cons of the Scan-to-BIM services. Engagement is an important business metric, tricky to measure, but never to be ignored. It could be measured in terms of customer loyalty or the quality of your customer experience. In order to avoid this, ensure the following points are taken into consideration. Define your customer journey map. Make sure you know your customers, where they come from, and where they plan to go with their services. Identify points of interaction. In most cases, the way your customers interact with you helps identify customer engagement platforms, such as the main objective of the Scan-to-BIM project. This also ensures that both you and your client understand the purpose of the project fully and the end goal. This also eliminates too much work. For example, you might find yourself overworking only to find out that your client only needs a structural BIM model instead of an MEP or architectural BIM model. Observe their behavior in real time. Analytics help you better understand and fulfill your customer requirements, taking into account their mission and vision. Offer personalized services. Personalization addresses your customer current demand. Keep in mind that clients are not the same and have dissimilar objectives, even though the project may look similar. It is very important to have a flexible approach for each customer's needs. At Modena, we ensure that we fully understand the client's needs and objectives within the AC industry. This helps us develop flexible workflows to best fit our clients' goals. In the words of Malcolm X, education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. At Modena, we make it possible, or we make a point to provide our clients with the resources and the knowledge they need to take their businesses to the next level. We have a team of highly skilled Autodesk certified trainers who are engineers and architects that really understand industry as well as the challenges out there. We go from teaching you how to use the Faro laser scanner, registering your scan data, to understanding your software and best practices on working with the point cloud, and also provide extensive training on how to operate our S-Build for AutoCAD and Revit plugin effectively. With that being said, let us show you a teaser on how our S-Build for AutoCAD plugin can speed up your Scan-to-BIM workflow within AutoCAD. S-Build delivers powerful industry-specific functionality for easy, precise, seamless, and effective solutions. In this demonstration, as you can see, the software can automatically detect pipe sizes as well as the suitable fittings for your piping project. Now, as you can see, the algorithm is trying to factor out the required fitting in that specific area, which is of course a 90-degree elbow. From there, you can hide the point cloud, convert the pipework into a fully functional plan 3D piping, add additional pipes or fittings, then propose a new layout to your client. This is the most quickest way to achieve accurate industry standard S-Build models that can be redesigned and improved in future. It doesn't only end here. This plugin also extracts structural members automatically and has tool sets that can make your modeling from a point cloud life very fun. Due to time, I won't touch up on that. Check out our full S-Build for AutoCAD webinar on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to view more interesting content.
Thanks, Floyd. So I put my camera on. So I hope we've given you a little bit of insight into the whole process of Scan-to-BIM. There certainly is a lot more information that is relevant or pertinent to the subject. And we could go on and we could dive deeper into, if there are certain sections that you'd like some more information on, please pop them in the chat box. Or if there's something specifically that you want, us to give you a reply on, let us know. We certainly are here to help, and we're certainly here to guide our clients and service our clients. So that's really important to us. So I haven't spotted any questions coming up, Pitt. I'm not sure if you've seen anything there, but I'm going to assume if there's no questions right now, my phone number is up there. I'm also happy to take a phone call at any point. Please do give me a call. like I said, we're here, and yeah, we just want to make sure that we can help you whichever way possible. So thank you so much.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Nalin,
Pete.
I see Litmus, if I am saying it correctly, you raise your hand. Do you mind putting your question in the chat? That's a question for you, Nalin. How much is it?
Sorry, I can't see the chat, Pete. I'm not sure why it's not visible
Okay,
on
the
my phone.
question is how much is Faro? So I'm
How
assuming
much is the scanner?
Litmus, yeah, it's the scanner
Okay.
and probably software as well.
Sure. Okay. It's always good to ask price up front. So you're probably looking at, for an entry-level scanner, which is an M70, you're looking at about 380,000, roughly around there. And then, of course, they step up. So that's the entry level, that's the M70, and the next one is the S70, and that's probably about 660,000. I stand to be corrected. And they step up all the way through to the S350. And that's close on to R1,000,000. So the S350 is top of the range, but 350 is indicative of the scanner's range. That's 350 meters, as is the M70 or the S70. That's indicative of its range. So in terms of whether you'd like to own the license as a perpetual license, which means you own that license outright, you can purchase it that way, and you're looking at about 100,000 Rand for Scene software, which is the registration software. And then you're looking at either possibly renting. You can rent the license, you can rent it for 3 months, or you can rent it annually. So Faro certainly have options. And then the software that Floyd was talking about also retails for an annual subscription around 40,000 Rand. So if you think about it, people go, sure, that's a price tag. But actually, if you look at how you're able to speed up your workflow, and certainly saving time equals saving money in the end. Any other questions, Pitt?
Nothing so far in the chat box. If anyone has got a question, you can just pop it in the chat box for us.
Please, absolutely. And I'm just going to verbally say my email, or I'm going to just type in my email address for everybody. So I'm Noeleen at Modena, so NOELEEN, and then at MODENA, and then -AAC.co.za. I'm going to stick it in now, then at least you've also all got it if you need it. So I suppose maybe we can wrap up. If
We've got a question there from Azar. Hi everyone, do you have guidance in regards to marketing contact for the Scan-to-BIM service providers, AAC, industry plant, topography, and roads and transport?
Absolutely. We've got loads of marketing content. So, and that's definitely what, we like to help our clients with, because we've got a few clients that we provide the scanning services to. And then, of course, as we're doing the scanning services under them, our content, of course, is available to you. So please just pop me an email to my email address, and then just let's get chatting, and I'll gladly share whatever you'd like. I'll share with you. I think it's so important to have transparency from early on. It's really good that everybody knows exactly where they stand and what they need. And then I don't know if there's anything else, but I don't see anything.
No other questions yet.
Right. So I mean, Scan-to-BIM really is a broad subject and a big topic, and it's essentially how long is a piece of string. We could go on forever, but like I said earlier, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need any specific information, or there's something in particular. Are you working on a project at the moment that you're struggling with? Is there something we could help you with? We're really good at solving problems, and we've got a team of engineers and architects on our side, which really put us in a fantastic position to be able to help our clients. So please do reach out. That's essentially what we want you to do. All right, so thank you everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you're all staying warm, and I hope you all have a good day further. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.